Okay, so we're going to continue our conversation with Fiona. See if there's anything more about the border house that we can learn.
Tell me some more about the border house.
What precisely do you want to know?
Thanks for the information.
Oh,
I'm glad I could help you out, darling.
okay. So that's as much as we can learn about the border house. Let's find out more about Venice.
What can you tell me about Venice?
I don't really know much about the history of Venice. You should really ask someone with an interest in local affairs. What I do know is that this whole neighborhood used to be an industrial area, and that about 100 years ago they converted most of the buildings into residences for students and the homeless. And it's a nice place to live, certainly. Friendly people, liberal attitudes, great clothing stores, quite perfect, aside from that dreadful stench from the canals in the summertime.
What's the story behind my apartment?
Your apartment? It's more a room than anything else. Not much more than a large closet, really.
It's not that small.
But it's
one of our
close.
smallest rooms, but it's cheap, and it's on a nice floor. I hope you're happy there.
I like it. It's convenient, and it's got an interesting view.
That's nice to hear, darling. As for the story behind it, no unexplained deaths or hidden pirate treasures, I'm afraid. Just a long string of students on a tight budget.
Okay. So nothing particularly interesting about her room, at least not yet.
Do you like Newport?
The city? I stay in Venice most of the time. It's easy to forget we're just a tiny little pocket in the middle of a sprawling urban wasteland. But do I like it? I think Newport is one of the great cities of our age. Love it or hate it, you can't argue with that.
And which one is it? Love or hate?
I haven't decided yet, darling. Ask me again in another 15 years. Perhaps I'll have an answer then.
Okay.
I don't have any more questions right now.
Don't hesitate asking if there's something else you want to know.
I'd better get going.
Off to school?
Yeah, there are no more classes this semester, but I have to finish my painting by next Thursday.
For what it's worth, darling, good luck. And don't work too hard, all right?
Alright, let's take a walk outside. We got to get to the school. Oh, wait a minute. The note. Ta-da!
I saw this note on the corkboard. I think the ring might belong to me.
I'm sorry I have to ask, but could you describe the ring?
Sure thing. It says Sweet 16. My dad gave it to me. I think it was the only birthday of mine he remembered, or at least acknowledged.
Yes, that's the one. I found it under the sofa when I was vacuuming. Here you are, darling.
Thanks. It's not worth much, but it's got a certain sentimental value for me.
It's a very pretty ring.
Yeah, it is. My dad never gave me anything pretty before or since. He must have won a poker game or something that day. You know what's strange? I don't hate him. He's a bastard, and he treated me like crap almost every single day of my life. But I don't hate him. I feel sorry for him.
Why?
Because he doesn't know how to love. He can't love anybody or anything, and because he'll be miserable every second of every minute of every day until the day he dies. God, I'm glad that life is behind me. I hope I never have to see him again. No, that doesn't sound right. I've made a choice not to see him again. Ever.
So, April's got father issues. Ah, and we now have a gold ring. The one ring to rule them all, apparently. I wonder if the real one ring from the books, Tolkien's books, actually has Sweet 16 written on the inside, because that would be hilarious.
Dad gave me this gold ring on my 16th birthday.
Okay. Let's look at what else we picked up in this room.
It's a matchbook from the Fringe Cafe.
Note the pattern of names here. We have Border House and we have the Fringe Cafe. Oops, keep doing that. Nice convention with the names here, pushing the idea of borders and boundaries.
It's a pushpin.
Oh, nothing special, just a pushpin. Okay, now we go outside, I think. Now, over here, we have who I consider to be my absolute favorite character of this story. So we'll get to him in a minute. First I want to wander over here. A complicated machine. This must be part of the plumbing.
That's probably Mickey's handiwork. She's the tool gal around these here parts. I wonder why she put the clamp there, though.
As much as they talk about Mickey, it's a shame that actually you don't see her that much. I wish she had a little bit more screen time. But you'll at least get to see her a little bit in the future. Let's see, can we take the clamp?
Oh. It seems the clamp served a purpose after all. What a surprise!
Can't take everything off the bat.
What a mystifying contraption, and completely absurd. What are all these valves and wheels and thingamajigs for? What grand purpose does it all serve?
As a puzzle for us, I'm assuming.
I'd guess that's a pressure gauge. It's at 100. That's percent, I guess. 100% pressure?
Relative to what?
The water tank's full.
Okay, and wheel.
It's a rusty old wheel. I'd imagine it turns the water on and off. It won't budge. The pressure's probably too high.
Okay, so I don't think we can mess with this yet. So, as I mentioned earlier, I said that this was my favorite game. So actually, I have played it several times in the past, but it's been at least 3 or 4 years since I played it last. So while I do know generally what to do and the order to do it, I may get briefly stuck every now and then. But of course, if I have to double back or do any kind of really boring stuff, I'll just edit it out and you won't need to worry about actually having to go through it. So let's go back over here, take a quick look at the mural.
I love this mural, even though the motif is a little trite. I mean, fairy tale forests and magical dragons? Still, it's pretty. I wonder what happened to the artist. Probably making a bundle from cheesy fantasy calendars and book covers.
I like cheesy fantasy calendars. Well, anyway, we'll stop this video here and we'll continue on in the next one.